not to agree on certain things. But we must never ever forget from this day forward. Letsatsi a Chaba, ha tlo tlhopheya ntse re phela. Ba ka re tshwarisa ba re tse ditronkong ba create di-case go lokile. But nkgono nke a founa gape today a re ngwana ka di-drugs ke tseo di a rekisiwa re mo ka taba. Because ha re le mo ka taba, we are killing them with action. But the dollar let's say action.
Yes.
Yeah, let's say action.
Yes, too much.
Yeah, let's go action.
Yeah.
Marana tela action fela let's say high moral, le high discipline. High moral,
high discipline.
High discipline,
high moral.
Because in 25 bata today, narumori. Just provoke them. Yeah. You know, you must point a panga in the eye. Yeah. Then I know them, they just react so that we can prove they are violent. Abashapa ka namba. Ke bone ka re ba contest na namba ba tsebo re phela ka namba. Ai ra ba shapa ka namba ba batla mriti mo lone. Ba batla mriti mo lente. Mara, are ba blame me because le dipina tse ba di binang di tswa mo community. I don't care where you come from, which political party. Your political party is not older than the community. The community gives birth to everything, whether positive or negative. The community comes first. That's why batho ba rona ba badimo ba rona ba tsamaile before rona ba ne ba lona ntwa e ne ba re the people shall govern. Babang banana ba tsewa by translator bare for the people by the people. Ha ona ntho e ka se qaleng ka batho be fetsa ke batho. Ha ikadile ke di system it will collapse because a se batho. O ka lwantsha setjhaba se re motho o rekisa di-drugs e bore no because rona re tseba swa ke re tlwaetse gore batho ba kodi ba baholo ba re gwakiwa yaanong mamela ya tseba tomkopa mame o tlwaetse gore ga ka batho ba bagolo wa itseba a ka tsa o kitse lo bolela bo zuma gore hape rona re ya sekolo yaanong kopane le ba ileng sekolo a ke re wena ke kwalikwa ka yo so ere tsebang gore rona matutola re kopane because of it was sebeletsa setjhaba sa rantsho today le kaosane. Program ya rona is not EFF.
No.
And EFF must remain the beneficiaries of our leadership and everything that we do in our community.
Yes.
Jwalo ke re matutola. La re kopana le bona re tlo ba dumedisa re ba rate re ba shapa ka lerato.
Yes.
Mo ba leng teng ba tatazela se ba itsa report every week ba kopana. What's the update to Tutola? Where's that man young man Nhlanhla Lux? No, call our networks. I care about the networks, Lima bodies. Why haven't you arrested Msiza even now? I care Msiza on Aliona warrant of arrest.
FIFA, EFF, FIFA. FIFA. FIFA, EFF, FIFA. FIFA. Thank you very much, comrades. We are here today to defend one of our own who has been victimized by a toy soldier who's walking around the streets of Soweto pretending to have an influence when the only organization that exists for poor people is here. So this toy soldier, because he is a coward, he has decided to attack the vulnerable, he has decided to attack those who cannot defend themselves in order to push his own agenda, which is sponsored from Stellenbosch and is sponsored by his white funders that are sustaining his lifestyle here. So Nhlanhla Lux is not a native person of Soweto. They bought him a house in Soweto because they wanted to disrupt the progress of the EFF in Soweto and create a parallel alternative that is going to make us fight amongst each other as black people and not fight the system. So their primary aim is to make us forget that we are fighting for the wealth of South Africa, make us forget that there is white monopoly capital which has monopolized the land, which is the one that is making us unemployed and is the one that is funding the elites who are Cyril Ramaphosa and the ANC. So we are here today because his attempt to victimize Ndate Victor, who's a 59-year-old man, was an attempt to provoke us. In the 1980s, if you remember history correctly, the war between the IFP and the ANC was not a war between the apartheid system, it was a war amongst black people. And it was sponsored by the white regime on the eve of democracy because they knew if we can make these people fight amongst themselves, they'll never find a common leader and they'll never take us on and free themselves. So this Tutula is a reincarnation of the same elements that were sponsored by apartheid in the 1980s, of the same askaris that were sponsored by apartheid in the 1960s and 70s to infiltrate our revolution, distort it, and misdirect our people towards an enemy that looks like their own. So the police must arrest Nhlanhla Lux in the next 7 days. We don't want to see him in Alexandra. We don't want to see him in Pimville, where he bought a house through white money. We don't want to see him in Dobsonville. He must stay in his house until they investigate this case and conclude it. And we want justice for this old man. And that justice must be material. He lives in a house without electricity. He cooks with paraffin, which is dangerous, and is extremely old. So we must intervene on this old man who was abused by an individual who's a coward. He's scared of going to Mitchell's Plain, where people are dying every day, fighting over drugs. He's scared of going to Khayelitsha in Cape Town. He's coming here, where our people are vulnerable and scared. So going from today, comrades, where there is a branch of the EFF, there must never be operation of Tutula. There must never be any operation of Tutula. Enough is enough. Where there exists a branch of the EFF, they must stop by the stop street and think twice. Because we are going to confront them toe to toe. When they say they are meeting at North Taxi Rank, they'll find us there. When they say they are meeting at UJ, they'll find us there. And we are going to say, what are you doing? What do you want here? And who sent you? No one has elected them. No one has given them any mandate to do what they are doing. So they must find branches of the EFF strong and willing to defend African communities from division and abuse. That is why we're here, comrades. So we're going to wait for the case number. There's going to be the chairperson of the region, Spetlele, will get us the case number there. And we'll update you going forward in terms of how we organize our branches to defend African communities. So they want us to fight black people. They want us to fight illegal immigrants. And they want us to kill each other. Because when we kill each other, they are going to remain powerful in South Africa. So we opened this case against this bastard toy soldier whose only ability is to wear a bulletproof vest to go fight Somalians and old people, because it's time that he gets arrested. And we want to tell the police that they must stop being bodyguards of Operation Tutula and watching them violating our people. We want to tell the police today that if the police are not going to stop this guy, we are going to take it into our own hands. And when he enters our yards, he won't come out alive. That is what we want to tell them. So before we enter a process where there is bloodshed in South Africa, we are saying to the police, we are giving you 7 days to arrest Nhlanhla Lux. If we see him in Alexandra, if we see him in Soweto, if we see him in Dobsonville, we are going to hand him back to you in a different condition. When he goes back to you, he will come back to you not the same man. So we are saying, stop escorting him to do raids when he doesn't have the mandate to do so. Because if you do that, you're going to end up with another Durban Phoenix, where people are able to kill people because they think they can take the law into their own hands. So we mustn't create a situation in black communities where we turn on each other. And because I don't like you, I accuse you of selling drugs. And then these bastards come and harass you in your household. It's not true. So perhaps I missed to make that categorical point. You see, the people who are standing across us here are not from Dobsonville. It's people from Pinville and surrounding communities. So Nhlanhla Lux has a roving crowd, a mobile renting crowd that pretends to be a community wherever he goes. So we were picking up, we met with Ntate Victor yesterday and today. He engages freely with his neighbors, old women, school children, elderly men, security guards and workers, because they know him and they have no knowledge of him being a drug dealer. But because Nhlanhla Lux has faulty intelligence, but primarily because he wanted to provoke the EFF, he went to his house under the pretense of looking for drugs. It was not the community of Dobsonville that is accusing Dr. Victor of procuring and selling drugs. It is the mobile rented crowd, which is paid for by money from Rob Hersov, which is paid for by money from Jan Rupert to distract the EFF. So Johannesburg is the center of the economy of South Africa. So if you can disrupt the EFF, which stands for Fighting for the Economy in Johannesburg, you have disrupted them from their fundamental program. And that is what he's trying to do. He's provoking us by attacking our member, thinking we are going to go out and beat up his people. We won't do that, but they must dare come to our households. They'll know us for who we are.
Are you not concerned as